Chapter 9. Internal Validity. Introduction. There are usually many possible ways to explain the outcomes of a study. The possibility of such alternative explanations, usually referred to as threats to internal validity, exists in almost all research endeavors. This chapter discusses several of these threats as well as ways to prevent their effects. What is internal validity? When a study lacks internal validity, one or more alternative hypotheses exist to explain the outcomes. These alternative hypotheses are referred to by researchers as threats to internal validity. When a study has internal validity, it means that any relationship observed between two or more variables is unambiguous, rather than being due to something else. 2. Threats to internal validity. A. Subject characteristics. The selection of people for a study may result in the individuals or groups differing, i.e., the characteristics of the subjects may differ from one another in unintended ways that are related to the variables to be studied. B. Loss of subjects, mortality. No matter how carefully the subjects of a study, the sample, are selected, it is common to lose some of them as the study progresses. This is known as mortality. Such a loss of subjects may affect the outcomes of a study. C. Location. The particular locations in which data are collected, or in which an intervention is carried out, may create alternative explanations for any results that are obtained. D. Instrumentation. The way in which instruments are used may also constitute a threat to the internal validity of a study. Possible instrumentation threats include changes in the instrument, characteristics of the data collector, and/or bias on the part of the data collectors. E. Testing. The use of a pretest in intervention studies sometimes may create a practice effect that can affect the results of a study. A pretest can also sometimes affect the way subjects respond to an intervention. F. History. On occasion, one or more unanticipated and unplanned for events may occur during the course of a study that can affect the responses of subjects. This is known as a history threat. G. Maturation. Sometimes change during an intervention study may be due more to factors associated with the passing of time than to the intervention itself. This is known as a maturation threat. H. Attitude of subjects. The attitude of subjects toward a study, and their participation in it, can create a threat to internal validity. This is known as subject attitude threat. I. Regression. Whenever a group is selected because of unusually high or low performance on a pretest, it will, on average, score closer to the mean on subsequent testing regardless of what transpires in the meantime. This is called a regression threat. J. Implementation. Whenever an experimental group is treated in ways that are unintended and not a necessary part of the method being studied, an implementation threat can occur. K. Factors that reduce the likelihood of finding a relationship. In many studies, the various factors discussed in the text could also serve to reduce, or even prevent, the chances of a relationship being found. 3. How can a researcher minimize these threats to internal validity? Researchers can use a number of techniques or procedures to control or minimize threats to internal validity. Essentially, they boil down to 4 alternatives. Standardizing the conditions under which the study occurs. Obtaining and using more information on the subjects of the study. Obtaining and using more information on the details of the study. Choosing an appropriate design.